Hi there, Calva friends. I want to show you how you can improve the debugging experience in Clojure using Abhinav Prakash's Snitch collection of macros for improving your inline def debugging. So maybe it's best if I start with just establishing what we mean by inline def as a debugging technique. So this is me trying to get Grok to not remove my inline defs from my code when I asked for help. And I had to really tell it that I love inline def. So I showed Grok this meme made by Lee Reed, which like depicts the steps of debugging. You can see it in this step. You can have like regular console log or print line in your code. I mean, we all use that. I mean, it's a very powerful debugging technique. I can also use tap from Clojure. And if you use that together with Portal and stuff like that, you also have a very, very nice debugging experience. And then you can inline def variables, because a problem we have when we use the REPL to inspect our application state is that we can't inspect function arguments and local bindings in functions. They are hidden from the REPL because they don't belong to the namespace. And you can then, to capture them, what some of us do is that we, inside the function, we put a def form. And we doing that is something like Grok and things like that. You don't do that in Clojure. You don't do local bindings that way, right? But what we actually are doing is that we def some local binding to a namespace binding, and that makes it available to the REPL for inspection. And the next level of that, the galaxy brain level in this case, is to inline def it to the same name as the local binding, and that makes it possible for you to actually evaluate the code inside the function that uses that local binding. So let's demo that a bit. So we have the source code for this application here, and it is running, and I'm jacked in. I have the REPL running and everything. And we have this app view here, which is this view. And we have to-do items that comes in from the state here. So if we want to look at the to-do items, we can use the gadget inspector like we see them here, but we want to see them in the REPL. So one way to do that is to def to-dos like this, to do items. And now if I save this, what happens is that Shadow.js will hot reload this new code and re-render. So now to-dos will be defined, captured in this namespace variable here. And we see it here. But I can't evaluate this because, or even this, because we haven't named it to do items. So that's the Galaxy Brain level here, the ultimate move. So that's to do items like that. And now I save, and now it's re-rendered, and I can look at the items there, and I can evaluate forms inside the function. And if we want to evaluate all the forms in this function, we need to also inline def the state like that. I'll save, it reloads, and the state is also defined. And now I can actually evaluate this whole function body, and this is the entire hiccup of the application that is running. So that is very, very, very powerful. And now I can redefine this function and still read on the stuff like that. But entering these inline defs manually can get a bit tedious, especially in big let boxes or nested let boxes and stuff like that. Yeah, it can get a bit tedious, and that's why Abhinav made Snitch. There are also other spy tools like this, but Snitch is very, very, very nice. So you find it on GitHub, and I will put a link in the description to this. And what Snitch does is that it defines a few macros that are like plug-in replacements for common macros, like defen. It has a defen star, def method star for def method, star fn, star let. I don't know why the star is in different places for this, but it doesn't matter. What I use mostly is this defen, but because what that does is that it will inline def. When you define a function using this, it will create a function that automatically inline defs all the function arguments, all local bindings, however deep they are nested in the function. So yeah, so that's what you can do. And in Calva, I have defined, let's see how I can show that. Settings JSON. Yeah, this is my settings JSON command. Yeah, so these are my custom snippets, and one of the snippets here is this one. So it's quality of life snippet. It adds the snitch dependency to my REPL. So I can do that. I have already done it in this case, but anyway, now we have the snitch dependency in the REPL, and now we need to require the we would need to require this, but we actually don't, because we have required it here with this snippet. It did that as well. And let me show you that. But it ends with this require, so that's why you see it here. That means we can now use defen here. So we can say that this is now defined with defen instead. And if I save this, it will work precisely as the function did before. But now, when the function was run, because it was run by shadows alias in this case, you will have all the local bindings already done. I have removed the inline defs here, but still, we have the state, we have the to-do items in there, and I can maybe prove it like that without that star there. It is not defined. So that's what happens here. And this one doesn't have any inline or letboxes or other local bindings. But we can go up here, and this is the footer view, and you see it has an active count there as a local binding. So if I would define this one, it's the snitch one, so like that, we have, you can see the active count is 6. And if we go out here in the application and say that we have done this one, because we have, then go back here, and the active count is 5. So, and now if we would evaluate this, this is the hiccup for the footer you see here. So yeah, so that's super convenient. Thank you, Abhinav, for creating this. Really love it. But the next thing that I want to show you is that you can automate this one more step by defining some key bindings to custom Calva REPL commands that can help you to not have to actually edit your file in order to instrument it with the snitch, the snitching version of defen. So, for instance, I have the key bindings. Oops, sorry. Key bindings here. So this is my. So this one I have bound to Command Enter, because usually when you evaluate a function, you use Alt Enter in Calva, but Command Enter, then you get it like snitched. So I have done that, and what it does is that it takes the top level form and then replaces the defen with an optional dash with defen star. So that's all it does. And I have also, we haven't mentioned these snitch conveniences. You can get the result from a function that has been run. You can get the result of that function by appending less than mark. Maybe I can show that. So if, okay, I will show you first this key binding. So I do now Command Enter. No, that was Option Enter. I do Command Enter, and then you see it is, instead of defen dash, it's defen star here. So now this one is snitched, but nothing has happened here. We haven't updated this file. So now if we can't, let's see, this one only has the state. So let's take something more interesting. Yes, the item view, it has some more bindings there. So I will Command Enter on that one, and it will evaluate that. And then item filter should be defined, and it's defined as filter all. And now also what's defined is item view less than. Sorry, I shouldn't. Something is hogging my splicing. So anyway, if we evaluate that one, I'm not sure why that happened, but let's go out to this here, and I'll show you the keybind like that. Yeah, I needed to do something in the application for this to be run. And now, the last time this function was run, the result was this hiccup. So that's that one. But now you saw I had to go edit the file to do that. So okay, now I unedited the file, and we did command enter on that one, and it is now defined. And then we had this key binding here. So I bound it to Control Alt SR. And if I do that, Control S and then R, then it will evaluate this function name with the less than appended to it. So you can see the result of it. And then there is one more binding here. That is the last time this function was invoked, what arguments did it get? And you reach that by appending a greater than sign to the function name. And what this key binding does here, it runs this snippet with greater than. So we get this. Let me show you. Item view like that. So if we evaluate this, it will construct the call that to this function the last time it was called. So item view, and then the state, actually. That's how this application works. So now you can call this by copying this code. And then you can call it. No, and you couldn't because you can't in this case because you have this. I'm sorry. But anyway, some other function you can actually call again that way. And you could do that with this one by just removing that thing like that. And now you could evaluate this, and then you get the hiccup return, except that element thing, because we remove that. So what you can do with this copying stuff like that, what this key binding does is that it first runs that, and then it actually copies the last results. So that was Control Alt S C for copy. So if we remove that, and then I'm inside this function, and I do that, Control Alt S C. Now it copied that, and now I can paste it. And it is not as pretty, but so maybe I should have done that in the. So this was the call to include in this one, actually, because that's what we called last time. So now you can call it again and get. I hope that made sense. Anyway, you have three convenience key bindings here. One for evaluating the current function, with a Snitch version, and one for evaluating the last result, getting the last result from a function. So yeah, super convenient. And this one is for reconstructing the last invocation of a function call. It could be some function you haven't called, like it has been called indirectly by some chain of things. So that's also super convenient. Yeah, so I guess I only have one left thing on my to-do list here, and that is to ask you guys to please like this video if you like it, and also if you like the video and the content I make on this channel, please subscribe and you won't miss when I create new content. Thanks for watching.